Welcome everyone. Welcome to Butcher and Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. And
Hey, what's going
how's
on?
how's
Happy
everyone doing?
Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Wasn't too much last night, right? So nothing too
No,
much to discuss. We want to
no,
just
it's kind of went back into that little, hockey came back,
yeah,
which was
hockey did come
nice.
back. That was nice.
Hockey was back. Rangers were on. They kicked ass 5-1.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys had a
nice.
tough loss, Lightning,
Yeah, playing the
but
Panthers.
could have been worse. Could have been my buddy who's an Islanders fan, 7-0 to the Penguins.
I don't want to be
Yeah,
on
that's
that end.
I
I
wouldn't
like
want to
to
be
be
on.
the 7-0 one. I like to be
Yeah, on
the
the other end.
yeah. Give
Yeah,
us a goal a lot.
yeah,
Goal,
exactly.
not going like, oh God, change the damn goalie out, please.
Yeah, flipped a little over to the Knicks. They lost, but
Yeah.
close game. Of course, the coach they decided to take out one of the hot players. Quickly was hot, and he put in RJ because Oklahoma is a very big team. So when they
Yeah.
put their starters in, I think he wanted a little more length defensively, which makes sense. But anytime you do something like that, because quickly it hit a bunch of threes, you're gonna get ripped. So it's
Yeah.
like, how can you take out the guy who's playing so good? But
Yeah, for sure.
coaches do that, and I'm not killing him for it. I get his reasoning, but you know what? Maybe this is a mistake to make it early in the year.
Yeah.
Because maybe now you make a different decision, and maybe you get a different outcome. But
Yeah.
either way, OKC is a great team, so like I'm not overly upset about it. Whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, moving
Yeah.
on.
We had the 27
We had
straight
some news
loss.
about we had, oh yeah, the
The 20
Pistons,
yeah, the
27
Pistons.
straight
Yep.
losses. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was a guy who he's gonna win that bet, man. I think they only got a couple games left, and I know they have the Celtics next. You could probably ain't winning that game unless the Celtics decide to start their G League team.
Yeah.
And even then they might still win. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, man. Um, I guess since 2000, at the four major sports, Detroit has had the worst losing percentage, and obviously the Pistons projected this year to have the worst losing percentage, for each national sport. So I guess,
Yeah.
there are hard times being a sports fan from other franchises, but that's about as hard as it gets from the
Yeah.
Detroit area. So,
And they love their sport teams too.
so
That's the
they
problem. You
do.
know what I mean?
They're
Like,
passionate fans. So,
yeah. So you're from
whew,
Detroit and you're listening. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
exactly. We're
At least
sorry
you
we
got the
feel you,
Lions
but
right
you know
now.
what? Maybe the Lions will make a
Yeah.
run because
Yeah.
now with the Niners losing, everybody's pretty much tied close
Yeah.
for that number one seed. So you never
Hey,
know how it's going to work out. Maybe the road goes through Detroit. That would be fun,
yeah.
you know.
That would be fun. We
So
got the dome though, so it's not as open as like we like it. We like
mhm,
the playoffs to be a little
yeah,
either sunny or rainy or snowy,
snow, yeah,
where it's like, oh, these teams are physical. Let's see how physical they are. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But yeah, no, it should be a fun thing. But yeah, we did have some news on what Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson
yeah. Russell Wilson benched,
benched.
and he'll be gone by the end of the year.
Yeah,
So that's I don't know. I mean, I don't follow them closely, but
yeah,
they had a rough beginning of the start. They started to play better, and now I feel like they're out of the playoffs. But like to
yeah.
just be like, all right, yep, that's it, move on.
Yeah, I didn't think
You
Sean
know?
Payton would want that from his point of view of being a new coach to that
Yeah,
organization, and then like saying, "Hey, Russell Wilson played that bad." Like, but who you got behind Russell Wilson?
right.
I don't know.
I mean,
So
I guess finish out the season and maybe draft a quarterback. But
yeah,
I'm not sure what they're thinking. It was real interesting news. Russell
yeah,
Wilson had a good career, but I guess he's at the point where
yeah,
you've been in the league a long time. He'll probably be on the couch next year, and then some team will have a quarterback go down, and he'll get a phone call,
yep,
to come in, or
yeah,
he'll get a job as a backup somewhere. He'll eventually find a job, but that's the progression of normal quarterbacks. Not like a
yeah,
Tom Brady career, or a storied Peyton Manning career or Eli. Those
yeah,
guys, sometimes you do look at Flacco. Like, he was on top of the world, and then he, was with the Jets last year, and now he was sitting on his couch, and now he's, thrown right into the action. So you never know what's going to happen. I willing to bet we'll hear from Russell Wilson at least once or twice more. But
yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I it is shocking news. It's like you got a Super Bowl, you brought some teams. I know that the 2012, it was 2012 when the Seahawks won, something like that, right? Can't remember. I think it was
Yeah.
like that. Their defense was a legend of boom. You know what I mean? So Russell
Yeah.
Wilson, and then
Legion
you
of
had
Boom.
Marshawn Lynch back there that was just running the heck
Yeah.
out the ball. So like I get it.
Hmm.
Like so Russell Wilson wasn't always like he wasn't the guy that had to put the whole thing on his back. You know what I mean? He had enough talent back there
Right.
to make sure that they won. When you got a top one defense and like you really have a top one defense and that
Oh
team is
yeah.
not letting anything go past them in the backfield, or you can't even run the ball on them, it's going to make it a little easier when you have running back like Marshawn Lynch. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Oh yeah.
we'll see what the future holds
Yeah.
for him,
But
but
he had a
definitely.
nice career, and
Yeah.
like I said, we probably haven't heard the last of him. And
Yeah. We
well, at least for now, Denver's moving on. So
yeah. So on to the
tonight we only got one game.
yep,
And
the
then
other Super
Saturday we
Bowl.
only got one game, but it's a big one on Saturday. But we'll get to that on Saturday's show.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it on
Um,
Saturday. But
so
yeah, tonight's
maybe Saturday. I mean, I am traveling again, but I'll be here for the first for when we get to the episode done.
yeah.
I don't get home to Florida late.
Oh,
But
okay.
then Sunday's show I'll be able to do from home.
Nice. You'll be back
You
in
know,
your
the
own
big and right, and
room.
it's back in my house, and we'll be able to get that done. I did listen to my friend Gandalf, and I'm trying to get an interview with his apparent great whatever,
Yeah,
however
nephew or
many great
whatever. Yeah.
nephew, Albus Dumbledore. I don't know how that worked out, but apparently he's in Azkaban in jail, and we'll get details on that
Oh,
coming.
dope.
And coming. Yeah, I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on with that, but it's hard to actually schedule an interview. So
Yeah, I could tell his
hopefully
agent is busy.
we'll get yeah. Well, they only let them out at certain times, and like
Oh,
they only let certain reporters, especially I don't know. So
yeah.
we'll try to coordinate that,
We're not
but
that high yet. We need to
stay.
get to our 50 subscribers and
We
then
don't have those. I don't have those connections quite yet.
yeah.
So, but we'll get there. So
Yeah,
anyway,
that's fun. Well,
uh,
I'm glad he's
all right,
he's
man.
he's doing okay. But yeah, the Jets and the Browns tonight. Joe Flacco coming in there, doing the Russell Wilson thing, sitting on the couch, now bringing a team into a Super Bowl run from himself. Hey,
And
he
he's going
doesn't.
against his ex team.
He's going to this. He knows them very well, so
He does.
he knows
He
the Jets very well. So
does.
maybe they know him very well. I
So
don't. Was Solemn? Was he the coach when Joe Flacco was in there? I think so, right?
I don't. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there last year, right?
I think Cleveland's going to win this. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he
don't know.
was. It was.
Okay. Yeah, so I think he knows what his defense is. He's gonna win the game. The defense for the Browns are
Yeah.
just as good, so it's gonna be. I don't even know. I don't. Is
Yeah.
Zach Wilson even starting anymore? I don't even know what's going on with him.
I don't know. It's the Jets.
Yeah,
They had the big win against the Texans, and then they get smacked by the Dolphins,
yeah,
and now it's like it's a game. It means something to the Browns, so
yeah, for
we'll
sure.
see how it goes if Jets play spoiler
Yeah,
or not. So
yep,
yeah, it's something to watch. There's some more NHL and NBA action, but nothing crazy. We're gonna have the New Year's game, which is always fun for hockey. We'll talk a little bit about that
yeah,
on Sunday, and because Sunday's New Year's Eve,
yep.
and yeah, I don't think we're gonna do
New
a
Year's
New Year's
Day.
show, but who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe. I
we'll
don't know. We'll
see.
see what we're in the mood for.
Yeah,
See
we'll
how
see
the
how.
whiskey falls.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's how it
um,
goes.
got any rants for today?
Yeah, I just got a little rant. It's about
Okay.
Colin Cowherd. This guy.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
herd.
yeah, 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 yeah. He like, I'm not on any level to even be calling out someone that's been, in the media for 25 plus years. You know what I mean? But at the end of the
I
day,
like the herd overall, but he's
yeah,
like any of these guys. He's done stuff and gotten himself in trouble, and he's not always accurate.
yeah. So like he tells us that we're gonna have a spanking of the Cowboys. He's like, hey, we're the fake Gucci, our coach is fake, everything about the Dolphins are fake. And then we go
Oh
on
yeah.
there. Yeah, he says that. He says that we're the fake Gucci bag while the Dallas Cowboys are the real Gucci. And then they tells us that we're gonna get blown out by Dallas. It doesn't matter where it's at, home or away. The Dolphins aren't for real. And then he comes in there the next day and he says, oh, now the Dolphin fans want praise. It's like we're not looking for praise. We're looking for respect of you saying something and then holding accountable to it. You know what I mean? It's like you saying, "Hey, I
Yeah.
said this," and then you say, "No, I never said that." What I said was the Dolphins are a good team. But you think that after you have been a journalist for 1 year and you write a good column, that I'm going to give you praise? You're like, so you're just sitting on your words that we come here and we say we're not saying that we want praise, and I'm not even looking to be the top dog, and I don't even want to be the Super Bowl favorite because I hate when a Dolphins Super Bowl favorite because then they come in with that vengeance to play the Dolphins. I like to be the underdog because then the underdog comes in there to play the vengeance. You know what I mean? When you're the top dog, they're
Yeah.
coming there with their everything, their best game plan. They're at the gym 5 hours longer because they're like, yeah, you're the top dog. I'm gonna show you who the top dog is. You know what I mean? So my rant is
Yeah.
really just him coming out there and just saying we want respect. No, we want you to be a man of your word, saying that we were going to get spanked and then we won the game. I don't care how it
Right.
was, field goals,
Well,
whatever. You know what I mean?
like I said, I've listened to him for a long time,
Yeah, me too.
and he's wrong a lot, and he does stuff like that, and
Yeah,
he it's very rare that he comes on. He's like, yeah, I was wrong. Every now and
yeah,
then he does, but he was wrong on the pick, and he might still feel that way about the Dolphins, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens when they play Baltimore this
yeah.
weekend.
I
But
don't care about you feeling
he
about that.
has
You
a
know?
national syndicated show. The
Yeah.
guy is actually he does know his stuff, and he just he gets ratings, and that's what it is.
Well,
He's
he.
very clever and creative in how he talks shit about teams,
Yep.
and I can't. That's why I listened to him for a long time, and
Yep.
he tries to be biased, and that's his opinion, and he's believe me, he's wrong just as much as anybody else. I listen to his football picks; he might go like 4 and 5.
Yeah. You.
He's just like everybody else, but
Yeah.
he should have ate a little bit of his humble pie because he was
That's
dead wrong about that.
yes,
But
yeah. I'm not asking you to go out there and be
yeah,
like, "Hey, the Dolphins are different
yeah,
than what I thought," but you have to come out there and be like, "Hey, I was wrong about that
at
pick." You
least
know
be
what I
like,
mean?
hey, I was wrong about this game.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not asking you to say, "Hey, okay, I believe the Dolphins are Super Bowl favorites now because now they have to go up there to Baltimore and
Right.
play them." But I'm not saying that. I'm
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, eat your humble pie a little bit." Say, "Hey, maybe I was wrong a little bit. Maybe they'll have to,
Right.
earn my trust." Can you imagine being in a Tua Tagovailoa's documentary talking good about the kid, and now all
Yeah.
you do is say bad things about him? You came out of college, hey, this guy is for real. He's the real deal. And now,
Yeah.
like right before when he gets injured, he's like, "Oh, that dude's small. He's injury prone. He's got leg injuries, finger injuries. He's got
Hmm.
concussions." And you're like, "Dude, you are in a documentary, like that is forever
Yeah.
in the recordings." And you're like, "Hey, this kid is going to be a superstar." That's what you said in a
Hmm.
documentary. Like they don't come up to you and say, "Hey, can you be in this
Yeah.
documentary?" If you don't believe in it. You know what I mean? And no one's going in a documentary to be like, "Hey, this," because this is forever in NFL. When they put
Hmm.
Tua's Tagovailoa's documentary up on a Sunday or a Saturday or whenever they play it, like on a rerun, you're gonna be in
Hmm.
there being like, "Hey, the kids are good." Then now you're like, "Oh, I changed up on it." You know what I mean? You're like,
Hmm.
you're changing up on it, and now you're still saying that the dude's proven his accuracy. Oh, like what did they say? They're saying, "Oh, it's timing." Yeah, it's how they run their routes. That's how they run their thing. But like, you don't get good by
If
doing
you've seen what
timing.
goes into the schemes and execution of an NFL offense, it's insane. You like,
Dude. Yeah.
and so the talent for, like, we just see them, whether they make plays or not on
Yeah.
on all the Sundays, but the time and preparation and planning that goes into that, it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
and like, we see them do things, but the skill that they have to accomplish like certain routes and stuff, like a lot of times, like especially in a more complicated system, receivers, based on the coverage, might go one of two ways, and you might have a timing route and think if your quarterback might think he's going to be in one spot, and then you throw to the spot and he's not there, it looks like you're a fucking idiot and you just
Yeah, that
threw the ball to
happened.
the other
That
team, but
happened
like, it's
to
a
the
timing thing.
Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's like no, we thought he was going to run in, but he ran out, and like they weren't on the same page. But like that's the option of the play. Like the
Yep.
receiver's like, okay, I'm going to go this way or this way, and then the quarterback's like, okay, I think he's going to go this way, but if he ends up not on the same, if he was on the same page, it's a completed pass, it's a timing play, and we just think it's okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just how it's supposed to roll. But like if they're off for a second, because usually when it's a choice of the thing, they do like a little weird hand signal or something
Yeah.
once they start running to let the quarterback know what way
Yes.
they're going. And if quarterback doesn't catch that in the split second that he has before he's about to get tackled by some giant lineman,
Yeah.
it's easy for that not to happen. So like I said, like the talent that these guys have, in between the X's and O's that we don't even see, and that's where it's really special, and
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Well,
So,
that's what I was
you
going to
know,
point out too
but
is like that quarterback has to read a defense, right? Know that the option
mm-hmm,
is either a break route or an in route, right? So he has to know that by the defense
mm-hmm,
because that's what his receiver's looking at the same thing. He's like, okay, I know the
right,
defense. So now the time, because like they show it all the time. Tua's already thrown the ball before the receiver, even in breaks. You know what I mean? He's
yeah,
not even looking at the
yeah,
player yet. He's literally just
yeah,
throwing the ball because it is a spot. But for having a spot and being 11-4 and then literally
oh
not being
yeah,
able to contain that because of how fast the accuracy is. I get it. Yeah, Tyreek Hill's fast,
mm-hmm,
Jalen Waddle's fast, but he's not just throwing it to them. He's got Derriman Smite there. He's got his freaking,
yeah,
he's got people that are in the same thing. He's got Chosen Anderson or Robbie Chosen, whatever they want to call him
exactly,
now. You know what I mean? Like these people, and he's got Cedric Wilson that he's been in love with. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
So like it like you said it takes so much skill.
yep,
Like you can't just get a guy off
mm-hmm,
the couch that like us. I'm not going to play quarterback because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Put me on the
exactly,
defensive line, I'll probably be good. I'm not gonna say like now, but a little younger me, you could have thrown me on the defensive line and I probably would have been all right. You know what I mean? Because like all
yep,
he's gonna tell me is, hey, I want you to rush the passer, and if you see the ball,
mm-hmm,
tackle the runner. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like, like when you're coming to the quarterback, he's the captain for a reason. He sits there out there and makes sure that every play design is ran perfectly. And if your offensive line's not
yeah,
holding anybody, then that's what it is. That's why it looks bad. That's why when these quarterbacks are getting sacked 7 times, they're like, why they shit? You're like, they're not shit. They're literally
yeah,
pressured. like,
right,
like,
right, yeah, by the fastest, biggest men in the world.
yeah,
So,
you go out there. I want to see you
um,
play.
I'm gonna stick to football for my rant, and it's gonna be on um situational decisions by coaches. Nowadays, people go for it on fourth down more than they ever have. And I had a friend
Yeah.
of mine years ago talk about how, if he ran a pro football team, he wouldn't even have a punter. He would just go on and he's like, you can
He plays
design
Madden.
plays to get 10 yards every time. Right. And I was like, I guess. I said, but there's something, especially like when you're in field goal range in the first half. I'm just a firm believer, take the points.
Yeah.
Punting is one thing, but like take the points. Like, there was a couple games that where teams end up, you don't know how the flow of a game is going to go in the second half, and like a turnover or this and that. And sometimes because you went for it on fourth down, now you came away with nothing.
Yeah.
Now at the end of the game, you need a touchdown. But if you would have taken those 3 points, you would have only needed a field goal.
Yeah.
So I know they said percentage wise, it's, you know, I guess the analytics say it's better to go for it because more times than not you can get that like 1 yard or whatever. And
Yeah.
like the Eagles with their little touch, whatever,
That's like 3 yards, three,
first
four
thing,
yards.
right? That's they've skewed those stats because they're so damn good at it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like take the points, especially early and in the first half.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's different if it's the fourth quarter and you're down two, and you're down two scores, or you're down multiple possessions. You want to get that touchdown. You want to save the field goal, which is the harder one for last.
Yeah.
But take the points, and in the first half, take the points, take the
Yeah.
field
The
goal.
Dolphins would have
um
did that on their possession of the first half or the first like
mhm,
quarter. They would have
yeah,
just had to kneel the ball. But then they had to go
right,
and use Sanders because they went for it on fourth down and goal and then they didn't get it. So they had to use,
And they, even if you're down, let's say you're down 21-0,
yeah.
and it's the first half, and you're like, well, I really need to get myself back in the game. I need a touchdown. You know what? Take the field goal because, like I said, you don't know how to the other with
Yeah.
today's NFL with the offenses and the refs,
Yeah.
calling pass interference and like you can always the defenses are always good, so you can like make a mistake and then all of a sudden your defense gets you back in the game. Those 3 points by the end of the game might be enough to get you into where you need to be. So like
Yeah.
second half, as time's winding down, I get it. You want to go for it on fourth down or, try to get a touchdown instead of a field goal. I get it because, that's when the points matter more. But, don't take for granted early points.
Yeah,
And
for
like,
sure.
teams going on it, you get down there, it's 4th and 1. You're at the 1 yard line and you're like, and people do this now, it's a tie game or whatever. Oh, we're going to take the points, or we're going to leave them in bad position, in the end zone. Take the three
Yeah.
points. I
Yeah.
just feel
That's,
like that's
yeah.
that's the
Unless you're
smarter
Philly with, Jalen
strategic play.
Hurts 4th and 1 on the,
Right, but
yeah.
and like I said, they're skewing the stats because they're just unbelievably good at it. So
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
that's my
Yeah.
rant.
I like the points. I
Take
like
the
the points
points,
too. Yeah. It's better to have points. Your team feels a little more confident.
especially in the first half.
Yeah, they feel more bad that they're like third. So like that's what it is too. Your coach, if
Yeah.
he's like open minded, he's gonna be like, hey, what you guys want to do here? And then they're like, oh,
Mhm.
I want to go for a touchdown. You're like, okay, go. And
Yeah.
then it's all
Yeah, well,
depends.
yeah, but that's just it.
Yeah,
Like as a player, you're gonna want to go for
yeah, you're
a
always want to go
touchdown.
for the
But like
touchdown.
that's where the coach is supposed to like, yeah, you want to go for it, good. Get off the field and let's take the points.
Yeah, but hey,
All right.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with getting points, man. It's always nicer on the scoreboard because
Yep,
zero looks nasty. As goose egg looks
it
zero.
does.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
All right, man.
that was a good rant. That
This
was a
we
good rant. I
gotta we
liked it.
got both have busy days.
Yep,
Good rant.
but
Let's
we appreciate. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
let's head out for the day. It's been a good little quick show. We'll be back Saturday morning
Yep,
for whatever, and then
for the
Sunday's going to be
football.
our big one. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
because
some good games.
there is one game on Saturday, which is a big one. It's the Lions and the Cowboys, but then
Yep.
everything else is going to be on Sunday. So,
Perfect.
all right.
Perfect. We appreciate you guys. We love you, Butcher and the Beard here. I hope you guys subscribe, like, comment, share with us, man. Give us your opinions. We always
Yeah,
want to hear things. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Me
Eventually,
and
we'll go
John.
over them.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the comments. Just so write a bunch of comments, some funny ones, some things. I know we're getting more
Right.
likes here and there, so I know we're getting more
Exactly.
views. So hey, if you guys just appreciate it, share that to your friends, families. We're always talking sports. We always have your input. So if you
Hmm.
guys want us to talk about any sports or anything, if you want to talk about golf or something, I'll figure out how to talk about golf. I don't know anything but
Yeah,
birdies,
absolutely.
cars, and stuff like
I
that.
could,
I
I
think
could,
me
I
and
could,
John need to. John,
I could talk
we gotta go
a
live
bit of
on
golf.
a golf course one day. I never played golf at a golf course, so I'm not good.
Yeah,
So I gotta go and
yeah. We'll do it.
yeah, we'll do it for sure. And then we
I'm not
maybe we'll
good
have
either, but I
a
enjoy
meet and
playing.
greet with our
So
friends. We'll get everybody to go out to the golf course, or maybe
yeah,
we could
sounds good.
do like a top golf. That'd be fun.
There you go.
A Butcher and a Beard top
Live from
golf, and
Top Golf.
yeah.
Yeah.
So comment if you guys want to do a top golf thing. So if I know you got to the end and you
All
hear
right.
that, you're right, top golf. But we
All
appreciate all
right.
your love and support, man. And everybody have a great day,
Have a
and
good
we'll
one.
see you Saturday.